Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chopping It Up with Buck on ADSN and 7:30 The Game. We're bringing you exclusive coverage down here in Spartanburg, South Carolina for the 2023 Carolina Panthers camp. We're here having a great time at the back together again on Saturday that the whole country is joining in. You know, the fans are here, the entertainment was really awesome, and everyone's just feeling themselves and really excited to be here. I'm Stephen Israel, filling in for your normal host, Charles Arbuckle, who couldn't be with us today. Joining me is none other than the Cincinnati Bengals former tight end, Craig Thompson. Craig, how you feel today, sir?
Yo, I feel great, man. It feels great to be back in this atmosphere. It's electric. Bring back some old memories and all, and just an awesome time to be here and hear some pads popping and seeing some guys fly around.
Yeah, today ends a week of steamy weather, but you know what? It's cool out here. It feels real good, and it feels, based off of today's practice, the transition from the OTAs and then going into camp has gone pretty smooth. Would you say?
I said it went pretty smooth. Today was real chill with, still kind of in pajamas. Kind of different than what we did back in the day. So you still walk with guys running around in shorts and helmets and all, but they're getting out there. They got a little intensity today going on, and it's a great atmosphere. It was kind of overcast, so it's a little cooler, around 80 degrees, so it's kind of chilled down a little steam a little bit here. Right.
Well, it's speaking about things being chill and going smoothly, I think that's how we could describe Bryce Young. And,
real smooth.
Especially after, his $37 million contract with the $24.9 million signing bonus. I'd say that'd give him a chance to chill out and feel real warm and fuzzy about himself.
Oh, he's real fuzzy about himself. And not only him, I was sitting next to his dad and his mom was kind of fuzzy also. Dad had on some new kicks and just kicking back in the bleachers, just, relaxing and enjoying watching the sun.
Oh, that's good. Clearly, he's been a fan favorite, and there's been lots of number 9 jerseys running around. Not just kids either. You see parents, dads. It's a really good transition, and obviously, I'm sure you would agree, just what this franchise needs. We go from Baker Mayfield and before that, Sam Darnold. Those guys were number 1 picks, but now we have another one on the block. And
Right.
We spoke to him a little earlier because we wanted to see what his feel and where his mindset is basically on this big stage. And we know he comes from a big state in Alabama,
right.
But this is different. This is the NFL.
I wouldn't say it's an intimidating thing, being at camp. I think that's really because of the coaches and the guys that are around here. Being able to be around them for OTAs and rookie minicamp and all the stuff leading up to that. It's not. I don't feel like it's intimidating. I feel like it's just a chance and opportunity for us to grow as a team, me to grow individually, and that's all that you can ask for. So I'm just excited for the growth, the hard times, and definitely it's going to get tough and it's going to be difficult. But I feel like that's where we grow as a team. So I'm excited for that process.
The Panthers traded 4 draft picks and star receiver DJ Moore to the Chicago Bears to secure the number 1 pick in Bryce Young. I'll say that's a lot. A lot of people say that's a lot.
That's a whole lot.
That's a whole lot. So guess what? A lot of people are obviously looking for him to seal the deal and make plays. So
Yes.
With that being said, there's pressure on him, would you say?
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on him. Anytime you come into the league as a number 1 pick or as a quarterback, period, there's a lot of pressure that's built upon you at that time. But he's handled it well. He came in, established himself in the locker room, got composed of the huddle today when he's out there on the field. He's exhibit leadership skills all throughout OTAs, and I'm not too much concerned about him handling the moment because, like I said, he came from Nick Saban program, and he does a great job, and he's played in big games and big moments, so he should do very well.
What's going to help him is his boss, because he's a first-year guy here also, and Frank Wright. Frank has brought in a very veteran staff in some areas with over 225 years of coaching experience. With him, obviously being a veteran in this league, being a former quarterback and playing in this league himself, what kind of leadership are you looking for from Frank?
Well, for Frank, I think, when you're a former quarterback and you're a coach and you've been an offense coordinator, that says a lot. I think he brings a great culture. He's a player coach. He sees what the quarterback sees, so he speaks the same language and knows the things that he's going through and the challenges that he's going to face. So I think it's a great situation for him.
All right, so with Frank's background, there's been a lot of talk that Thomas Brown is the offensive coordinator. He's the one that's sort of going to be putting the recipe together, but Frank is going to be serving the meal and calling the plays. What's your take on that?
I don't know about that, Steve. I mean, I know if I'm gonna get the groceries, at least let me make the meal. So that's kind of awkward because you design these plays.
Did you play for Bill Parcells?
No, I didn't play for Parcells.
That's where that came from.
That was came from? Yeah. I heard him say it before, but I didn't come for Bill. But that's kind of challenging. But I think that he brought the staff in and they probably sorted all this out before he came on board. So it should work out. And I think throughout the course of the first few games of the season, they'll work through that process and get it nailed down correctly.
Okay, well, since we're on offensive coordinator, let's talk a little bit about Thomas Brown. His last stop was tight ends coach with the LA Rams, and you being a former tight end, what's your mindset as a former tight ends coach coming into a situation where you have a first-round draft pick quarterback to work with, and is it a situation where he feels pressure on himself, or because of having the offensive background and coaching tight ends, do you feel as though he uses that to his advantage?
It's kind of I think he used it to his advantage, but at the same time, with the doing the dual offense coordinator job, I don't think he may feel totally confident in calling the plays in different situations. And I think at the same time with Coach Wright coming in as a new head coach, he want to take ownership of this program. He don't want to rely that on someone else, and he want to be in control. He's been in the huddle before. He's seen the adversity that quarterbacks face, and with a young quarterback, I think that's kind of his mindset of, I want to kind of handle this and kind of work the flow of the game. Now,
there's been a lot of talk about changing the mindset of the team, changing the overall temperature from a situation where it's up and down, especially from the quarterback position. Do you feel as though, especially based on today's practice, did you see some of that? Do you feel as though Coach Wright has exhibited some of that?
Yes, I think he exhibited, and I heard in this press conference right after practice that he was excited about the pace of the practice now and the tempo and intensity of practice and how it's going. So it's running along the lines of what he's looking for and what he's expecting to get his team up to speed on and get ready for this season.
I'm really happy with the playmaking that I've seen out here in this first block. Some big plays, Shaq had a big-time interception today right in that team period. I mean, it was unbelievable interception. The DBs have made the plays that you spoke of. Von Bell made a big breakup. Excited about that. I think that's going to be a good group for us.
Yeah, Craig, we were talking about the offensive side of the ball, which you spent your time on,
right?
Unfortunately.
The best side.
Yeah, and offensive coordinator Thomas Brown. Let's switch over to the correct side, the defense. And let's talk about new defensive coordinator, Ejiro Evero. After one season as the defensive coordinator with the Denver Broncos, he had him ranked 7th in the league, which is pretty good. He also has some really good players on that side of the ball. But now he's here in Carolina. Not only did he bring his savvy skill set and putting together pretty good defenses, he also brought the 3-4 scheme.
Right.
But you know what? We'll talk about that a little later. And I just tell you, man, we have a new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. Both of these guys are young. Just saying that, your feel in that locker room, not just the locker room, but in the offensive meeting rooms, the defensive meeting rooms, is there an advantage with that new young fire?
Yes, always an advantage. When you come in and things are changing a little bit and guys can see some goals that they have in place, and the new coaching staff bring new ideas and things to them for learning, it's always, get your antennas up and get you ready to play and get you fired up and ready to go outside and run around and hit people.
Oh, okay. I feel you on that. What you mean hit people? You know a lot about hitting people?
Come on, man.
Hey, so look, we've talked a lot about Bryce Young, and we're going to stay on Bryce Young because his quarterback coach 16 years in the league, Josh McCown. We're talking about a guy that knows the game. I know
Right.
Josh personally. You're talking about a heck of a nice guy. And that's exactly what Bryce Young needs is a quarterback coach. Now, you know, he doesn't have a lot of experience coaching, but 16 years
Right.
at quarterback in this league, and with the mindset that he has where the intellectual outlook and approach toward the game, he's got that covered. And that's a lot of what you're hearing coming from not
Right.
just, you know, the college ranks, but all the scouts and that push the Panthers towards drafting Bryce Young.
Right.
So how do you feel about that? Josh McCown, 16-year vet, coaching Bryce Young.
I feel it's an awesome move, Steve, and I think about when we think about it is that you have a quarterback coach that's a head coach. You bring in a 16-year vet that's going to be his quarterback coach, his personal coach. You have a 15-year vet, Andy Dalton, in the room with him, that also is another coach. So you surrounding this kid with everything that you can to make him be successful. I mean, you traded 4-round picks and a receiver.
That's a lot. I'm always going to. Every time you say it, I'm going to say that's a lot.
And so you surrounding him and making sure that you can do your best to ensure that he's going to be successful in your system and give him all the tools that he needs to help him out in that situation.
Okay. I agree with that. And also added to the staff was Don Capers. We know he brings a lot. He brings a level of wisdom.
That's a wizard
to the staff.
Yes.
So overall, it's a pretty good mix,
Yeah.
wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I say we got a pretty good staff in place, and the way that things are carrying on in practice here, like I said, it looks like they all on the same page and got things rolling pretty good so far.
That's good. So let's talk about since we're down here at training camp. So let's go down memory lane a little bit.
Come from a small school and come to Cincinnati Bengals in '92, and on that training camp, it was a little different for me because
Just having food, right?
just I ain't gonna go there with you now. No, but that training camp was pretty tough. I mean, it wasn't like the day when you out here in shells. I mean, our first week of practice was 2-a-days, and before that, the rookies came in 3 days before and had 2-a-days before the veterans came in and had 2-a-days. So I came to camp. They wanted me. I was a smaller tight end at the time. You probably can't tell now, but I came in at 2:43, and I came in at 2:30. They want me to get up 2:43 to play. So I came in camp at 2:43, and by day 3, I was back down to 219. So when the vets came in and we went into the huddle. And we're in the huddle, and Harold Green and those guys in the huddle say, "Hey man, what position you play? You play tight end or you play running back?" So I lost a lot of weight and spent a lot of time in the hospital. And in those days, I mean, I had to go get IVs almost every other day. I remember my fondest moment of playing with the great left tackle and Anthony Munoz is that after practice, I had my whole body locked up with cramps. So they went and got the van and brought the van out on the field to come get me to take me to get some IVs. But at the same time, they put Anthony Munoz in the van with me. So I was sitting there cramping up and locked up, and I looked over and I like, man, that's Anthony Munoz. And I wanted to ask my autograph, but we locked up. But it was a tough time back then. That we had some hard times in camp, but it made us better men, made us better today, and it's good to be in this atmosphere again.
That's good. When I signed with the New Orleans Saints, I did not know what I was getting myself into because I did not know they went to training camp in Thibodaux, Louisiana.
Wow.
I had never heard of Thibodaux, Louisiana. But I quickly found out about Thibodaux, Louisiana. Mm-hmm. My neighbor, Randy, across the street said, "Steve, where's your little girls?" I said, "Man, it's too hot. They don't want to ride their bikes." "Oh, well, that ain't nothing. You wait till you get to camp in a week. Down there in Thibodaux, man, it's going to be 110 degrees. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, man, you got to be kidding me. So we get there. We have 2-a-days, but it's not 2-a-days. It's 2-a-nights. Because we got to practice at night. That's how hot it is. So it's 110 degrees. Humidity index makes it feel like it's 120. Mm-hmm. And then you got these little black love bugs. You ever seen love bugs before, Craig?
Nah.
Yeah, they're little black love bugs. Look like flies, but they're all black. and it's like 20 million of them flying all through your face mask. It was a mess, man. But if you can get through training camp in Thibodaux, Louisiana, with love bugs flying in your face,
you can get through anything.
You can get through anything. All right, Craig, that's good stuff. We'll be right back to take a look at some key pieces regarding the offense, and then also overall what the Cats need to do to pull some key pieces out of the bag to make this season very special.
We're right here on ADSN at 7:30 The Game. We out here chopping it up with Buck. Be right back.
At Heslop Wealth Advisors, our goal is to help small businesses develop quality retirement plans for their employees through our Lunch and Learn seminars. We provide lunch and learning tools to help your company succeed and unmatched customer service.
Join us each week and a new celebrity guest on Chopping It Up with Buck. Brought to you by Thin Energy. ThinEnergy.com.
Welcome back, Chopping It Up with Buck. We're here on ADSN and 7:30 The Game down in Spartanburg, South Carolina for the Carolina Panthers 2023 breakout season. That's right, I said breakout.
I hope it's going to be a breakout.
Hey, well, look, we got some roster moves, Craig. Back on the 26th, we signed wide receiver Javon Wims. On that same day, we waived wide receiver Marquez Stevenson. But then just yesterday, we waived running back Tyon Evans.
Yeah, Steve, that's kind of hit me hard right there, Steve. That's actually my little cousin. So
what?
Yeah. So I was looking forward to meeting him today and seeing him out here on the field. And unfortunately, those type of things happen in this business. I just want to encourage him to keep your head up, keep working, get in touch with your agent. You're only a phone call away from your next opportunity. There are guys in this league that played a long time that have been cut several times. I think about James Harrison was cut so many times, 4 or 5 times, and then ended up being a Pro Bowler player. So for the Steelers, so keep your head up. One closed door don't mean the end of your career, because there's some more other doors will open up for you.
That's great. That's great advice, Craig. And it exactly what you just said. It'd be nice if all the young college football players and rookies and walk-ons and guys, free agents, had the opportunity to hear that, because that is true. So look, we talked about Bryce Young. He's on the right track. He is a young kid that I really feel as though the rest of the team is responding to him.
Right.
But let's go into detail a little more about the rest of the offense. And let's talk about the guys that's going to protect Bryce Young. And you already know, arguably the most important group on any NFL team is the offensive line.
Right. No doubt. And especially when you have a smaller size quarterback. So you got, right now, we're happy to have Icky back. He's been a staple. We're going into his second year, so he's a strong presence on that line and becoming a great leader on that line. And Zavala, that's currently injured, and he's on the PUP list. So those like Cade Mays will be filling in that role right now, in that starting position at right guard. So the main thing important for you guys here now is to continue to gel. One thing, when former coach Matt Rule brought up some excellent guys in on the line of scrimmage when he was in charge of the Panthers back then, and they're still here, and there's some good players. So now they just need to gel together. They go into a different type of offense, so they just need to get on the same page, eat together, sleep together.
Took it right out of my mouth. I was going to ask.
Hey, go out, do movies together, do all these things together, and gel together to make sure they're all on one chord and one page. That's the most important thing in your offense.
So NFL players actually do that? Because I was going to ask you, when you said they need to gel together, what sort of things do they need to partake in activities, just the whole nine to gel together?
Whatever the group is doing, and whether they're going fishing, whether they're going to play golf after practice, or whether they need, this time here at camp, they need to be eating together, sleeping together, take a bath together, go to a fish fry together, whatever you need to do to stay together and get on the same page. And we're pretty solid up front. The guys are doing a good job out here now, and you're not in pads yet, so you can't really get a good feel of how the offensive line is actually doing until you get your pads on and you can see they covering the gaps and stopping penetration from the line.
This is a good time, obviously, also, is to get down their footwork down. You know, I was amazed of how unbelievable the footwork for offensive linemen, how well they move and how great their footwork has to be.
Yeah, it's like a big ballerina. So you got a big group of guys, 300 pounds, that's moving together in unison to achieve a goal to move weight, move people out the way. So that's what they call them. So yes, Steve, a key piece of our offensive line is Corbett. He had ACL injured in last year. Expected to miss 4 or 5 games at the start of the season. I definitely think our offensive line play would elevate once we get him back, along with the other guys on the line, and and it'll be, right on time for the midseason and going into the back end of the half of the season.
Right. Well, they're going to need that, especially with a rookie quarterback, because you already know what's a rookie quarterback's best friend. Protection. Right. Great offensive line. Yourself.
Yeah.
Tight end. And then unbelievable running game. No, we don't even need no receiver.
Hey, man, we do.
All right, well, you brought up receivers.
In 2023, you need a receiver.
Let's start with DJ Chark. Since it appears here in camp and during OTAs, he seems to have the most chemistry right now with Bryce Young. Talk to me about some of the other guys.
Well, you got Alan Thielen that's, a savvy vet, and he's here, and he brings some experience here. And also you have Terrence Marshall.
Well, I'm asking you right now, does this receiving core miss DJ Moore? Will they end up missing DJ Moore?
Well, everyone would miss DJ Moore. DJ Moore is a dominant wide receiver. So, I mean, I miss him already. We ain't played the game yet, but we got a DJ here that hopefully he can turn out to be the same.
You're right.
He's been a great connection right now during camp.
You're right. And speaking of DJ Moore, he's going to wish he was here too when it comes to November, December, right?
Right. No doubt.
Oh, that's good. And well, look, offensive line, check. Depending on a health situation, right? Running game, we haven't talked about it, but guess what? We got Miles. And, man, he was a hit in Philadelphia. And Frank Reich knew he was going to need some help on the offensive side of the ball and running the ball and in the run game. Mm-hmm. And he went and got Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders, does he bring that same level of aggressiveness and excitement to this Carolina Panthers offense?
Yes, Miles Sanders definitely does. The guy rushed for 1,200 yards last year. And just to see him out here today on this field in camp, he broke out some runs on some cutback runs and for 20, 30 yards, and he just electrified the fans here, and he's doing an awesome job.
He's a third down guy. That means they don't have to bring him off the ball. Does that help Bryce Young in his development, that he has a running back behind him that he can count on for 3 downs?
Oh, yes, no doubt. I mean, if you got a running back that you trust, it keeps the defense honest also. You got a running back that can, run off tackle, he can run inside, he can run outside, he can run power, he can run checkdowns, he can run routes out the backfield. So he got a lot of skill sets added to what you just now said with the receivers and the tight ends that here for Bryce Young that will create opportunities to move the ball up and down the field for us.
All right, well, as you already know, I've said it once, I'm going to say it again. I feel as though for a quarterback, a young quarterback, especially the 3 pieces, offensive line, you need to have that box checked. Running back, we just talked about Miles Sanders. That box needs to be checked. Now let's talk about your position. You're a former tight end, and the Cincinnati Bengals drafted you. And guess what? We just got Hayden Hurst. Didn't he come from the Bengals?
Yes, he did.
Why is this guy special, and how can he help Bryce Young?
This guy is tremendous. I mean, you look at 6'4", 250, great at the point attack on the run. He can catch the ball. He can get downfield. He run routes well. He make contested catches. He got great hands, and he's a fiery guy.
Great
hands.
Or good?
Good to great.
Don't let me change your mind.
No, he got great hands. I mean, in Cincinnati last year, he caught 50 balls, and they had no trust in him at tight end. When you have a receiver core with those dynamic weapons down there, that he still caught 50 balls out of that group. And had a pretty good year. And he was playing hurt last year. So now he's healthy. He had a surgery off season, so he's going to be well. He's good.
I'm happy that Hayden Hurst is here. Any team would love a tight end like a Hayden Hurst.
Yes.
You know that. But guess what? What if you have 2? Now, I'm not saying Tommy Tremble is Hayden Hurst, but, he's been improving, and he was looking to get his hands on a lot of balls this year.
Right.
And, had an awesome offseason with lifting. word around the facility is this kid looks good physically. So
Yes.
let's hear what he has to say.
Okay.
I'm Tommy Trimble, tight end, Carolina Panthers. I feel like adjusting to this new offense has been super exciting. Having a head coach that is really offensive minded, tight end minded, that really just details everything that we would want to do and succeed in. I think it makes it makes a world's difference. I feel like my opportunities on the field really open up with this type of playbook and with these coaches. I feel like really just talking to them, seeing how they like these routes run, or getting a few after practice if we're off on schedule on a few during practice, and feeling comfortable doing that is really what's helping that relationship between the tight ends and the QBs. I feel like I have. Before, I really didn't feel like I was comfortable as much on the field. But now, with really asking the questions I can, more studying just on my own, I feel like reading the defense, like it's a lot easier now. It makes the game easier. It makes knowing these routes and what we're gonna do easier. You know, Hayden being a vet, 6 years, he's 29. I mean, he's really been in the league and just gave his peace of mind to anything. He would help me, I remember with the releases earlier, like when a guy looks like this or this kind of leverage, he just tells me what I can do. And having that kind of guy in the room who's had the opportunity in different offenses to really explore the passing game and just teach it to us is really, it's awesome. He's been a great older guy, and I love him in the room, man. I think he's really brought our group together. We all have this common goal to be great, and never lets us rest, but always makes us comfortable in the room. And I think that's what really makes us just go to our best selves.
Hey, 10 toes, I'ma never miss. Bomb locked in, never take a loss in the sport. Bomb top 10.
If I could describe the tight end room in one word and why, I would almost say ruthless. Like this is, and I would describe it like this is like it's time for us to really show what we got and show who we are this year. And I feel like everyone, they're ready and dying to. Like we just want to be ruthless on the field, whether it's in the run game or the pass game. We want to do everything we can to be a terror for defenses.
Running it back, running it back, running it back. It won't stop. Running it back, running it back. And that's
Well, Tommy Trimble only had 19 receptions for 174 yards and 3 touchdowns last year, but we are expecting some great things out of him this year. Just today, when I got here and I first looked at him, he dropped 2 balls, and I was like, "Oh man, come on, Tommy Trimble, come on, catch the ball." But later on, he caught another ball, and then he caught a nice corner route for about 25 yards. And he looked real nice, caught the ball real well, and ran well after the catch. So he's got some growth. He's a young guy. He just turned 23 last month, even though he's in his 3rd year in the NFL. So I think he's going to come along pretty good. And having Hurst around with him will help him out also.
Definitely. Anytime you have a veteran to kind of help you, show you the ropes, that always bodes well. Hey, we'll be right back with Chopping Up with Buck here on ADSN and 7:30 The Game.
At Heslop Wealth Advisors, our goal is to help small businesses develop quality retirement plans for their employees through our Lunch and Learn seminars. We provide lunch and learning tools to help your company succeed and unmatched customer service.
Join us each week and a new celebrity guest on Chopping It Up with Buck. Brought to you by Thin Energy. ThinEnergy.com.
All right, welcome back to Chopping It Up with Buck on ADSN and 7:30 The Game. We talked offense, but now it's time to talk a little defense. And Ejiro Evero's 3-4 scheme. And you're probably looking at me saying, what's 3-4? Why is that a big deal? Oh, it is a big deal because they're changing it from a 4-3. And the difference, you know the difference as the offensive guy?
I'm an offensive guy. I just block you if you get in front of me, and I just run routes on you. So what's the difference for you guys?
So the reason why it's not going to be a big deal, in my opinion, is you should scheme with your talent. And that is exactly why they switched to the 3-4, and mainly because of Mr. Burns, Brian Burns. So when the 3-4, you're playing with 4 linebackers, which this team's speed is more
it's crazy.
On that side of things, and you only have 3 down linemen. On the 4-3, you have 4 down linemen, 2 big, really stout tackles, and 2 bigger defensive ends. And then obviously if you have a rush in, that's where Brian Burns was playing.
Right.
But this allows him to be more athletic and do some more really creative things on that side of the ball.
Make it a little more sexy.
If you want to put it that way.
Yeah.
But the one thing that's really good for the Panthers is they have a lot of talent in that area and speed, more so than just a bunch of big D tackles.
Yes.
So it's going to help the defense, my opinion, gel a lot faster and come together and just use their speed to attack the opposing offense.
They're definitely fast. I
think it'll showcase my IQ more than anything. Physically, there's so much more you can do at my position. But I think it'll showcase my IQ more than anything just because of the disguises and really mapping out and understanding formations, plays in that type of role. Because now I have a little freedom to, move about over the slot, back, up. It doesn't really matter. So I just feel like me being able to disguise the way I want to can probably open up some opportunities for me.
Craig, the most famous 3-4 defense, I'm sure a lot of people would agree, was that New York Giant defense.
Yes.
Anchored by the great Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, the GOAT.
Exactly. But I'm not saying Brian Burns is Lawrence Taylor, but there is a little concern for Brian Burns because of that ankle injury.
Right.
And, he got surgery during the offseason. I know he's on track. Everything's looking well. But the other piece to Brian Burns is his contract.
Right.
He doesn't currently have a contract. What's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that is for that same reason. You say he out here practicing and he's participating, and that's all well and good, and you want to be there for your team, but it's a business also. When you see guys like Bosa that's holding out, you see Joe Burrow that's pinning a contract that got hurt a couple of days ago and going to be missing some time now, and you're out here practicing, giving it your all, and you haven't got your money yet. So you got to secure your bag first.
Yeah, it's coming.
And you already got a bad ankle. Come on.
Well, he got that surgically repaired.
Okay.
He'll be fine. Give him his money, and the ankle will be fine.
Okay.
Right? Hey, well, look.
Give my money first.
Let's get back to this D-line. Derek Brown continues to improve. We got Shai Tuttle. He brings 143 tackles to this defensive line as well. And then at the defensive end, we have Henry Anderson. I'm looking at my notes here. And adding Brian Burns to this package with a 4-3 scheme, I like what I see. What I don't know exactly is the depth. Are they going to be able to rotate and keep guys fresh? But, we got DJ Johnson. That helps when you got DJ Johnson, linebackers like him, and also Frankie Louvu. You know what he brings to the table. He's a 6-year vet. The move to 3-4 definitely, I feel as though, fits this defense best. Right. And Evero, the defensive coordinator, do a good job coaching them up, teaching it. And we just got to see. We just got to wait and see.
And don't forget about Shaq.
Shaq redid, speaking of contracts, he redid his contract. So obviously they're going to have that leadership from a guy who was drafted here, that's been here for quite some time for guidance. And today doesn't seem to me that he lost his step. He
hasn't lost step and made one of the best plays of the day here at camp today. He picked off Bryce Young on the over route he was throwing. He came and just snatched it out of the air. And the whole defense went the other way. So it was exciting. One of the top plays of the day today.
Yeah, very encouraging. But you know what? Doesn't matter if they're playing a 3-4, a 4-3, a 1-6, a 6-1. All that means nothing with those front 7 guys if the 4 guys behind them, the secondary, is not taking care of their business. So let's talk about the secondary a little bit. And obviously, let's talk about the most athletic position on the field.
Tight
and
end.
The second hardest position to play in football, especially in NFL, and that's cornerbacks. We got two young, really exciting corners, and Dante Jackson,
Right.
homegrown from LSU.
Yes.
The other starter, J.C. Horn, University of South Carolina.
Yeah,
SEC corners.
Yes.
These guys are really talented, but they've been banged up a little bit. You know,
Right.
Horn missed most of his rookie year. Jackson is coming off of Achilles injury, and he looks good, but that's a really tough injury to come off of.
It's tough, but with technology these days and the kind of treatment you guys are getting now, I think they'll be ready to go when the season starts.
Well, the GM, Scott Fitterer, talked about working these guys back in slow. And today, looking at them in practice, they're running around, they look good, and I'm just wondering when it's time to put the pads on, will they be out there?
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's not just them. That's just two corners.
Right.
It's not just those two guys. Who are the backup corners? That's the key. But, you know, just holding it together will be the safeties. You know, Von Bell coming over from Cincinnati. We know what he can do. He's a big play kid.
Yeah.
And then also Jeremy Chin.
Von Bell, I watched him play because he played in Cincinnati. So he's a tremendous talent. He was definitely a leader in the back end of the defense. Matter of fact, when the Bengals went to the Super Bowl, he secured the game with getting that interception from Mahomes to propel this in the AFC Championship game, and also played well last year in the AFC Championship game against Kansas City again, which we lost. But Von Bell is a great leader and done a great job, and I think he's going to be a tremendous asset to Carolina in that back end of the defense.
Well, Craig, we still have lots of more to come.
Yes.
We're chopping it up on Buck on ADSN and 7:30 The Game. We're down here, 2023 Carolina Panthers training camp in beautiful Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Getting it back together.
At Heslop Wealth Advisors, our goal is to help small businesses develop quality retirement plans for their employees through our Lunch and Learn seminars. We provide lunch and learning tools to help your company succeed and unmatched customer service.
Join us each week and a new celebrity guest on Chopping It Up with Buck. Brought to you by Thin Energy. ThinEnergy.com.
Welcome back to Chopping It Up with Buck on ADSN and 7:30 The Game. From 2023 Carolina Panthers training camp in Spartanburg, South Carolina. We're having a great time.
Yes.
It's all together again across the country.
Saturday.
Fan experience, the whole nine.
Everything.
Hey, but look, I wasn't finished with the corners. C.J. Henderson, Dante Jackson, J.C. Horn.
Okay.
It's on these guys. The 3-4 is going to get it done, but these guys are going to have to make plays.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, we'll see. Let's go to special teams. That's important, too. There's three phases to the game.
Yeah.
Offense, defense,
and special teams.
Tell me why this special team is going to be special.
This special team is going to be special, Steve, because we have a special player on that team, and his name is Sam Franklin. Sam has saw action in 17 games for the Panthers since 2022 and posted a team high 13 special team tackles last year, and that was the most special teams tackled by a player since 2012 for the Panthers. So wow, that's about I think that's about 13 years that somebody had 13 tackles on special teams. So he's a special team demon. He's running down there. He got to take a special tackle attitude to go down and play special teams and be make an impact on the game.
It does. It takes a special player, but also so many young players don't realize if you want to make it in the NFL and you want to get on the roster, this is the easiest route to getting on the roster. Is showing up on special teams and making plays.
Yeah, Sam was undrafted coming into the Panthers, and
we talked about that earlier.
Yeah,
with your cousin being released.
Yes. So Sam was undrafted coming into the Panthers and made a spark just by making plays and effort plays. That's all special team is effort. And that helped me out when I was my rookie year because I was a 5th-round draft pick coming from a HBCU, smaller school, FBS school, and I played on all special teams. Extra point, field goal block, punt team, kickoff team, kickoff return. I played on every special team there was.
That's where they had to move you until you gained your weight back, right?
Yeah.
Because you was down to 219.
Yeah, that's why I lost my weight, because I was on every special team.
Oh, that's good. Hey, well, look, let's talk about some of these upcoming events and the Panthers joint practices. August 9th and August 10th, they're going to have some joint practices versus the Jets. Whoa. The Jets. Now, 3 and 4 years ago, you say the Jets, whoa, it's because they just can't find a way to get it done, right?
Right.
But why is the whoa going in a different direction this year with the Jets?
Because of Mr. Rogers.
Oh, Mr. Rogers' neighborhood?
Yes, that's it.
Oh, man, I am really, really excited about that. I'm looking forward to these joint practices. But regardless if it's the Jets or the Giants, it doesn't matter.
Right.
What's the importance of joint practices?
Well, joint practices, you get to hit somebody else. You know, these guys, they had a little scramble today towards the end of practice, but guys just kind of getting frustrated, pushing on each other, and being in Spartanburg together for a week, and they're already about to scrabble. So bringing another team in here, you get some fresh meat. So you get to hit somebody else. You get to see somebody that don't know your plays already, what you're going to run.
Yeah,
don't know
good.
the script. They haven't looked at the script before practice to see what's coming.
That's good.
It's going to be electric time. When the Jets come, it's going to be Hard Knocks coming. So you know guys can try to show out also. So it's a great time, and hopefully everybody come out healthy. No fights break out because all the tension build up with everybody. But it's a great opportunity when you're going against someone else in a different color jersey.
That's so true, but it's not just for the players, it's also for the coaches.
Right.
Now the coaches get to see exactly the various formations and schemes on offense and defense going up against, and they get to play a true game of chess. Because when you're in camp going against yourself, it's not a real game of chess.
Right.
Because you already know what your defensive coordinator is going to do.
Yeah.
You have to script it and tell him to change it.
Yeah.
But now all bullets are live, and you're going against a
Right.
different defense or a different offense. Now you see exactly if some of the stuff that you put in is up to par and at the level that you would want it.
Right.
Craig, I had a lot of fun talking about football, but you know what, man? That pretty much sums up the football portion of this.
Mm-hmm.
But every time we do these shows and every time we come to town,
every time we come to town, we got to throw down. We got to find a place to throw down and get some grub.
Oh, see, it must be food involved.
Yes.
But you know what? He's right. We did a great feature and we had a great time at the Beacon Drive-In here. And
awesome.
Every time we do these shows, regardless of what city we're in, we try to pick a iconic historical place to go to, whether it's a museum, restaurant, or something of importance for that town with some history to it, just to show our appreciation for the area we're in. And we have fun and enjoy being there, and just show the locals a lot of love, because that's what it's about at the end of the day, showing love. Even if you're playing football, you're showing your opponent some love. They don't like it sometimes.
Yeah.
My name is Jerry Leon Wiggleton. I worked here for only 51 years. It's the only job I ever had. I like my job, but I love my customer. Call it!
Welcome to the Beacon. My name is Karen Harwell. I'm one of the owner-operators here at the Beacon Drive-In. It started off in 1946 at another location up the street on West Main Street. In the early 70s, it was moved here, and this is the second building on this location. When it first came to this parking lot, it was on the sidewalk, and it was a walk-up only. You could walk up, and then in the early 70s, this was built, and people was actually able to come in and sit down.
Y'all look good in my neighborhood. We're going to eat here or to go?
Here. JC called the orders for the Beacon Drive-In. When you walked in, JC greeted you, took your order, yelled it out. Nothing was ever written down.
I used to call the orders out, and I used to get tickled to death. I used to be tickled to death. Come on, no. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you want.
Hey, give me a plain hash, slaw and sauce on the side. Hey, add a chili cheese, a plenty. Put the axe on it. Hey, add a small half and half, Mr. Rodney. I want that small half and half just like my wife. Hot. Hey, Mr. Boyd, give me a ham light on that mayonnaise. What are you gonna have? Hey, add a small tater down there, cook.
you made your way up to Mr. White. Well, Mr. White took your money, greeted you, and sent you on your way. We do burgers, chicken, barbecue, catfish, flounder, perch, shrimp, oysters, clams. You can choose anything from a burger with mayonnaise, lettuce, tomato, and onion to a barbecue hash sandwich with red sauce and red slaw, or some great fried chicken with coleslaw. As far as your portion size goes, it's an aplenty. And aplenty means fries and onion rings piled high on your plate. Our main sellers is a chili cheese aplenty and a hash aplenty. Two big top sellers at the Beacon.
Chili cheeseburger with mustard and slaw.
I've been coming here for years. I love the catfish. I pick out, and next thing I know, about an hour later, I'm like, you know what, you feel me?
I started in 1998 as a cashier. Been here for 25 years. Now I'm one of the owners, and I've met people like Guy Fieri, Danny Glover. I've met President Bush. He ate a chili cheese aplenty. They've been many celebrities come through. We've grown as far as people coming from all over the United States, hearing about us, bringing books in. I had a lady came in over the weekend to show me an article. Well, it was actually a book, and she wanted me to sign it where my name was mentioned in the book about the Beacon Drive-In. It's coming up election year. This has always been a very well-known stopping place for politicians. If you're going to run for anything, you should go to the Beacon. Because if you normally run for anything, you will win the election if you come to the Beacon Drive-In. George Bush said that. We think the Beacon is very important to the Spartanburg community. We just want to make sure that the Beacon's around for a long time.
Sometimes I didn't have the money after a football game or something like that to eat. I just get a tea. He says, "Is that all you want?" I said, "Well, I don't have any more money." He said, "Tell me what you want," and he'd give it to me.
So that's the Beacon Drive-In. Great history, great food at a great price. And if you're at the Panther camp, stop on in the Beacon.
Call it!
You know, this place has Danny Glover's eating there. Yeah. They've had presidents eat there.
So much history there.
Yeah, it's been around since like 1946, I believe.
Wow.
But we just really enjoyed doing things like that, whether it's a restaurant or a museum. But this was a lot of fun, man.
Yes, great time.
And you know what? So much fun. I enjoyed filling in for Charles Arbuckle. Buck, you better get back. I don't want to hear no excuses. You got your knee taken care of, so you're not limping around.
Yeah, but what happened to two tights, man? I got one tight and a DB, man. We're supposed to be two tights.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. But you know what? He is nervous just like you. A little DB, you're upset that a little DB, a corner, can cover y'all.
Come on, man. That's it.
You're
stiff arm away.
You're a little slow with that.
You're stiff arm away.
Yeah, but I'm strong though. You get nervous when I press you.
But I tell you one thing.
How many times you doing 2 1/4?
I don't know. I ain't gonna get up on it no more. I don't get up on it no more.
Hey, we had a lot of fun. Continue to tune in.
Steve, just think, this year makes 31 years since our first training camp in 1992. And wow, time changed.
What's the biggest change? The biggest change since your rookie year in training camp?
They wear pajamas.
I know. For me, it's exactly that. I retired after playing 10 years with 3 major surgeries because of injury. If I had the opportunity to play in today's NFL, I think I could have got 18 in.
Yeah, but also guys are bigger, stronger, and faster now. They got more technology, more training, more conditioning with extend our career.
You guys speak for yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know corners that's as fast as me. But you know what? It's over. That's it.
Yes.
We had a great time. So long from the 2023 Carolina Panthers training camp down here in Spartanburg, South Carolina. You guys have a good one.
Have a great time.